Welcome to tonight's webinar, using the latest Logos mobile apps for the iPhone and iPad. As you can see from the list here, it may surprise you to see how many applications Logos has for the iPhone and iPad. Now we'll spend the majority of our time with the Logos Bible software app, then we'll visit all the remaining apps, pointing out the unique features to those applications. The last application, Biblia, is really not an app, it's a web-based application, but I still wanted to include that in the group. Now for the visitors, you may be wondering, what is the purpose of a webinar? Well, first is to provide training for Logos Bible software, in this case, the digital applications. Second, we like to provide training so you can study the topic for yourself and provide biblical insights related to the topic. Now tonight's unique, we're focusing on digital applications, so there won't be much Bible study going on this time. And also in regards to the personal book, this one's a unique one, so there's no personal book included here. But in our other webinars, we always include all the notes in a nice manual to equip yourself and others. Now the training can be fast-paced, and it includes a lot of information so as to increase the training value. Some of the items you can follow along, others are designed for you to sit back and watch. Don't worry, all the webinars are recorded and edited for purchase and review. Now we'll be releasing this webinar in the next few days for the retail price of $4.99. As you can see, it's discounted 50%, and we'll email you personally when the webinar is available for download. For those of you who are new to LearnLogos, we sell Logos 4, 5, and 6 training. Now the Logos training is done in the studio, and it's high quality. Logos 6 is currently 34 hours of training broken into 3 parts. The first part is the fundamentals. We show every feature of Logos 6. The second part, we're going to teach you how to study and prepare a message and organize your Bible study for part 2. And then part 3, we're going to teach you about all the books in your library. In fact, we have over 450 book overviews organized into 14 Bible study categories. So if you're looking for a great way to learn Logos Bible software at your own pace, LearnLogos 6 bundle training is the way to go. This week we'll be rolling out the rest of our events for 2016, so be sure to visit LearnLogos.com/events to see that schedule. If you have any suggestions for some webinar ideas, email me at webinars@LearnLogos.com. Our next webinar, Monday, February 15th, is titled How to Study Sexuality in the Bible with Logos Bible Software from Purpose to Perversion. Now this will be a G-rated webinar, I promise, and we're going to talk about marriage and also equip you to answer the culture in response to homosexual marriage, civil unions, etc. So this will be a really great equipping webinar. Then on Monday, February 29th, we're going to have How to Train Up Your Kids and Grandkids in the Lord, Key Passages and More. And then Monday, March 21st, we're going to have a mini group Bible study, False Teachers, Deception, and Discernment. So let's get started with using the latest Logos Bible software mobile apps. Now since the interface to the iPad and iPhone can be a little bit different with the Logos apps, we're going to present both. That makes it really easy for you to watch and see how they're the same and different. The iPad is at the left in landscape, and the iPhone is at the right in portrait. Now all the apps can be downloaded in the App Store, and if you just go to the App Store and type in Faith Life, you'll get a list of all these applications. You certainly can search on the name as well. Now I'm going to go over to the right, and I'm going to use the hand icon to show you where I'm clicking. So that should make it a little bit easier for you visually to know what I'm doing. Now don't forget, we're going to record the webinar, so you'll be able to pause and rewind and all that. This will move a little bit quick tonight because we have a lot of ground to cover, so I hope you don't fall too far behind. So let's begin by launching the Logos Bible software app on the iPhone. Then at the left, let's go ahead and launch the Logos Bible software app on the iPad. Now when you first install the application and launch it, the first time you open a book, Logos presents a tutorial screen. You can see that if you swipe down, you're going to get reading controls. If you swipe from bottom up, it gives you access to the action menu. When you swipe from left to right, you go to the previous page, and when you swipe right to left, you go to the next page. You can also touch and hold any text to copy, highlight, share, and other options that are available. Typically at the top left, there's app controls, and at the bottom right, there is a drag to center split screen mode, which we'll demonstrate in a few minutes. Now when you launch the app for the first time, you'll need to enter your Logos username and password and click the sign in button. Go ahead and do so. Now this application has a lot of features. So let's begin with the home page. Go to the bottom left of the iPhone app and tap the icon Home. For the iPad app, in this case, we're already in the application looking at a book. To access all the icons, go to the top left of the app and tap the three horizontal lines at the top left. Now we have access to all the menu choices. Go ahead and tap the home icon. Now there are quite a few elements in the home page. You can see at the top there's a tablet bundle. This is Logos's recommended purchase for your mobile applications. Then under that is the group invites. In this case, Logos sent out an invite for a Logos 30-day challenge. You can join that if you so choose. Now in cases where you have downloaded books onto your mobile device, if that book needs to be updated, Logos will show you this downloading one resource to let you know they're updating the resource. The next section, today's readings, will list all the reading plans that you have created inside your Logos Bible Software desktop application. So anything you create in the desktop application will now show up in your mobile application, allowing you to read on any device and stay up to date. After you scroll down past your readings, Logos has some suggested reading plans that you can join as well. The next item scrolling down is the verse of the day. It's usually a wonderful graphic with a key passage from the scriptures. This is a great tool to keep you in the scriptures and help you become familiar with some of the more notable passages in the Bible. The next section, Faith Life Today, are short video interviews on various topics. Scrolling down further, we come to your prayers. Any prayer that you have created in the Logos desktop version will show up here in today's prayers. I'm going to go ahead and tap the circle next to the third prayer, 02 Local Church. The check that appears in the circle signifies that I have prayed that prayer. Now let's go ahead and actually click on the white space just to the right of our label 02 Local Church as seen here. Here are the prayer details. Notice that we can add additional notes, we can change the schedule, we can even delete the prayer. Let's go ahead and click on Schedule. Here we can make any change to the frequency in which we want to be reminded to pray this prayer. Let's go ahead and tap on the word back at the top left. Now we're still in the details of our prayer. Let's go ahead and tap on the word done at the top left. Now you may be wondering, how do you delete a prayer or even show that the prayer has been answered, which in both cases would remove the prayer from the list. All you have to do is swipe at the right from right to left on the row of the prayer that you're targeting. Let me demonstrate. If you have swiped properly, you will now see a blue answer and a red delete button. Let's go ahead and click on Answer to signify that our prayer has been answered by God. The prayer section is the last section on the home page, so let's scroll back up to the top. Now at the top left is a reference box. This is probably the quickest and easiest way for you from the home page to jump to a specific passage to start reading. So let's go ahead and tap in the reference box. I'm going to type EPH space 2 space 8 and then click the Go button on the keyboard that appears in the iPad. As you can see on the iPad at the left, Logos has now opened my preferred Bible right to Ephesians 2:8. So the reference box will open up your preferred Bible. Now let's do the same on our mobile app. Over at the right though, instead of clicking in or tapping in the reference box, let's click those horizontal lines just to the right of the reference box. Now this is a real handy feature because it allows you to avoid typing with the keyboard and select your key book, chapter, and verse. Now at the top there's two options, verse and recent. By default, verse is selected. Down below we see the books of the Bible. Go ahead and tap on EPH. Next tap 2 for chapter 2. And now we're ready to tap verse 8. That's a real handy feature and we're now at Ephesians 2:8. Now let's go up to the top left and click on the three bars to get access to our menu options. Let's go to the bottom left and tap Home to return to our home page. Let's do the same with the iPad app. Tap on the three bars at the top left. So that's the home page in a nutshell. Let's explore the library section by tapping on the library icon as seen here. Now, whenever you visit the library section, it's a good idea to swipe from top to bottom to refresh the library list. You will notice there is now an option at the top right to download all. Now, I do not recommend doing this unless first you have a lot of extra space on your iPad or iPhone, because there are a lot of books that could get downloaded and use up all your space. One of the advantages, though, of downloading all your books is that it will be quicker access in opening and closing and moving through various books, because Logos doesn't have to go back into the cloud over your cellular service or your wireless connection to get the information. It's all local. By the way, at the top right, there's two buttons. One is already selected, and that's our row view. That's why the books are a little bit smaller. You get the title and author information. Let's go ahead and click on the book cover view by tapping here at the top right. And here's the book cover view. Now you'll notice that each book has an I in a circle. It's the information button. I'm going to go ahead and tap the I button for 1st and 2nd Samuel commentary. You can tap any I that you have on your device. Here we can learn about the details of the book beyond simply just the author and title. There's a little description there as well. You can also rate the book. That's what the 5 stars are for. And here's where you can download individual books. So if there's a book that you're using regularly, like a key Bible or a key commentary, I highly recommend going into the information button and clicking download, so that book becomes a local book and will work much faster in the Logos program. So I'm going to go ahead and click download. Now while the book is downloading, the download button will say downloading, so you need to be patient waiting for the book to complete its download. After the book is downloaded, it then will install. Once the book has downloaded and installed, the button now is labeled Remove, so that in the future you wish to remove the book, simply come back here and click Remove. Let's return to the library by tapping on the word Done. Over at the right, I'm going to tap on the library icon at the bottom. Let's go ahead and search for a book in our library. Go ahead and tap in the search box at the top. Now I have typed Bible space knowledge in the search box, and you can see the Bible Knowledge Commentary is the first book listed, and then there's some resources listed below. Now up at the top right, you can change the way the books are sorted. So let's go ahead and tap Sort by Rank at the top right. So depending on your need, you can see at the bottom that you can sort by rank, most recent, rating, and author. I typically leave it at rank. However, if you're shuffling between several books, recent can be very helpful. Let's go ahead and tap the word Done to close this window. Now let's go back to the iPad in the top right hand corner, and let's change it back to grid view by tapping here on the grid icon. Over at the left we have our menu. Let's skip over search for now and jump into the read option. So go ahead and tap on read in your menu. The last book you have opened has now appeared in our iPad. Let's go ahead and tap on the read option on our iPhone device. Our book has now appeared on our mobile device. Now when you're in the book reading mode, there are some additional hidden menus that you need to be aware of. So I'm going to just simply tap in the white space on my iPad there at the right. In the iPad, we can see at the top right 4 additional menu options. If you do this in the iPhone device, the menu will appear at the bottom. Let's tap on the first icon, the box with the arrow going straight up. A multi-function menu has appeared. Starting at the top, we can see that we can change our passage by going to Ephesians 2:8 or 2:10. We have access to additional information through the passage guide, exegetical guide. We can compare text, search for citations, add to favorites, add a note, visual copy, and even share this verse with others on Facebook, Twitter, Faith Life, etc. Now we'll come back to each of those elements at a later time in the video. Let's go to the next icon, and that is that star or favorite icon. Go ahead and tap the star now. Here is a list of favorites that you have created inside your Logos Bible software program or your mobile devices. These can be links to verses or even specific pages in books. It should be noted that if you click Edit at the top right, you will be able to delete these favorites individually. Let's go ahead to the next item by tapping on the large A, little a. Now most of the items in this menu are pretty self-explanatory. You can change the font size, the paragraph formatting, the brightness, the color of the books, turning red letter on and off. But there's one particular item I want to point out, and that is